Welcome to the new chapter, and in this chapter, we're looking at how to make a register page with forms for form validation using React Hook form. All right, so we'll be using that library. So let's go to the React Hook form documentation, and let's go to get started. And let's get started by installing this package. So it's npm installed React Hook form. Let's go to terminal and paste the command there, and that's it. And after that, let's look at the Figma design first of all for our register page. So there's gonna be forms with a username, email, password, and the role. All right. So there's just gonna be a form and some buttons. All right. So let's build it out in our code. So first of all, let's remove everything and let's start by giving a box. All right. And let's give just a title register. And then for style, I'll be using my own GitHub code. All right, you can find the URL in the description of this video. I'll be putting that, and you can just copy it from there and then just paste to style this box as a card. All right, and there's nothing but just a basic CSS. That's why I'm just keeping this part, because you can easily understand. If it's complex one, then I'll definitely explain. But for basic CSS, you'll easily understand. And because I'm doing this, because if I start explaining each and everything, UI part, then it'll be very lengthy. That's why. So let's give it a heading with title register, and let's give it some styles like margin button will be 6, size will be large, and text align will be center. And now let's create a form, right? So for that, we need this form tag, and after that, we'll use this v stack. It's a vertical stack that'll come from Chakra UI, right? And after that, let's give it a spacing as 4. That means gap between the forms. And after that, we'll be wrapping this vertical stack. And after that, we'll be using now a form control that will come again from Chakra UI. And inside the form control, we'll be using the form label to label the input. And so let's import it first of all, and we got it there, right? And after that, we'll be using the form label to actually give a label to the form input, right? So it's going to be username first of all. And after that, we'll be using the input field. All right, so for that, we'll have this input type is going to be text for username. Placeholder is going to be enter your username, or so let's enter username to make it short. And after that, we'll be using some styles like border color is going to be grayed at 300. And as you can see, and after that, we can just copy and paste down as well. Just change the title as email and placeholder as enter email, and also the type is going to be email. Let's now do the same thing for password as well. You just need to copy it and just change something like here password, and for type will be password, and placeholder will be enter password. And finally, we need a role now, right? So let's copy it first and paste it out, and then we need to change this as role, and this input is gonna be a select, because we are gonna have the select box over there, right? So it's gonna be select, and it'll come from Chakra UI again, right? And inside of the select, you'll use this option, value as user and value as admin, right? So you get there. And after that, let's give style to the select to change the color of the text. So color will be gray.400. And yeah, and after that, we will need some buttons, a login and register, right? So let's give a button, and after that, let's put a register over here, and button is not defined because I forgot to import. And yeah, so it's working now. After that, what you have to do is, let's give some styles, and I'll just copy it from there and paste it over there. Color scheme sand, color as black, type submit, and with as full, right? And let's give a text here to say if you already have an account, you can go to the login, right? Something like that. So let's keep it style. Font size will be small, and color will be grayed out 600. And I think that's it. And let's give a login link here. And before that, we'll need 2 links from React Router DOM and Chakra UI. Right, so let's import link as Chakra link from Chakra UI React, and import link from React Router as router link, and it should be React router. All right, I forgot to mention. And yeah, it should be React router. And after that, of this text, let's provide a chakra link as a router link and to login, and colors will be sand forwarded. And let's make this font width as bold. All right, let's keep it bold. And after that, let's provide a login over here. And as you can see, this is login. And let's give a little space onto left. For that, we have margin left as 1, and that should be it. Now our UI has been already done. Now let's register this form fields using React Hook form, all right, for form validation and for submission. So let's import, first of all, use form from React Hook form, all right. And after that, it's very easy to integrate React Hook form in your form, all right. I'll be showing that. In your functional component, inside the functional component here, we'll need to import something from a use form, right? So it should be, first of all, register to register the form fields, right? And after that, we'll need this handle submit for submitting the form, right? And we also need the form state to keep track of the form state, like loading of the form, or like submission errors, right? So import this errors and is submitting, all right? That should come from use form. And so register for registering forms, handle submit for handling submission, and and form state for some errors, form validation errors, and for submitting for keeping track of the form submission, right? And after that, we also need some default values for the form fields, right? So that the initial value that will be rendered when your page is loading. So for that, we'll have default values, and let's give it some name for form fields. So let's give a different name. Email should be email as empty. Let's give password, username, and then role, I think should be user. And this user should be capitalized, right? All right. So it's a requirement from the backend, but yeah. And after that, what we need to do now is register the, first of all, let's give on submit, and let's give it handle submit, and let's give it a function on submit. We'll be creating this on submit function now, right? So it'll basically get invoked when we handle submit, right? When we click register. So let's get const on submit, and this is going to be a function, right? And here it'll take the form data, that means the data of the form, right? Username, email, password, etc. And let's just log the form data. And yeah, form data. And after that, let's give a quick test if it works or not. All right. So let's give username, email, password, and the role. All right. Let's keep the role admin and let's register. And as you can see, we are not getting anything except the default values, right? Why is that? Because we have not registered our form fields yet. So to register, what you need to do is, it's very easy. Just need to put this register, right? And after that, you just need to put the name of the form, like this is username. For username, it's username, and for email, it was email, right? Like in default values, what we have given, we should just put that name, right? So for this should be password, and for role, it should be inside the select. Let's go here and just give that as role. And let's test it now, and this should finally work now. All right, let's give a username as something, email, password, role, and let's register. And now it's working because we have finally registered our input fields. Now, the last thing we need to do is validate the form, all right? For that, all you need to do is go to that register function and give a comma, and as a second argument, you just need to put this object, and inside that required, and just give a message if it is empty, all right? So email is required, something like that, and just copy it to the username as well, and let's make it same and just change it to username. And let's go to the passwords as well, just give password, right? And let's give the same thing to this select as well. and let's make it role is required, and that's it. So to validate, we have this is invalid prop that we can pass in the form control, right? So you just need to put is invalid as prop and give it a name, headers dot the name of field, that is username for username, right? And here you just need to put the same thing, is invalid, and then headers dot the field name, that is email, right? Here in the password, same thing again, name is password, and for this role we have a role. So let's give it a quick test. Let's remove that first, and let's try to register. So it's working if the form is not empty. But if we try to make some input empty, then it will not work. That means form will not be submitted. So it's actually working. Our form validation is actually working, but we are not actually seeing the message, right? So we also want to see the message in case our form is not validated. All right. So for that, all we need to do is let's go here in the form control section, and after the form control, all we need to do is import this form error message from Chopper UI, right? We need to import that, and here just need to give errors dot name, that is email, and dot message. That's it. Now let's test it out to display this error message. When I register, it should show the message, but the message is not displayed. It could be the issue of color, maybe. Let's give it a color as red, and it's still not working. And I figured it out. The problem was actually because we put that form error message outside the form control. It should be actually inside the form control, right? And let's not forget to import it from Chopper UI React, right? And here errors.email.message, because email is actually the name, right? Name of the input field. That's well. And let's put the same thing in the username as well. And let's change this to username, right? And we're getting the error as undefined because a lot of times when you first render will get undefined, the problem will be solved by optional chaining. So this is actually optional chaining, question mark, and then dot. So if you want to learn more about optional chaining, I've made a video on that. You can just check out in the right corner of the screen, card, right? So you can just check it out there. And let's change everywhere in every input fields. So let's give the same thing to the password input as well. And let's first go make this password. And for the role, we just need to go after this select and put that form error message, and let's make it a role. And that's it. And our form validation is perfectly working now. And in the next chapter, we'll be integrating API in our register to make our register fully functional and to store the users.